Welcome to FCC Supporter Square, the show for fans, by fans, and about fans. Here are your hosts, Mark Suppin and Matt Warman. Hey, welcome to FCC Supporter Square. It's been a wild week. I'm just kind of not sure of what this team is going to be doing, but at least we're playing. I mean, this was like the fourth game in the rain. With me is going to be Barry White. He's got that sultry voice. You're going to hear it so well. You guys are going to pay attention because my good friend Mark Suffin was in the rain for the fourth time in a row. Andrew is still semi-dry, I think. He had to protect his lovely fiance from getting overly wet. And sadly, he won't make it today, but that's okay. We'll see him next time, I'm sure. So how are you doing, Mark Suffin?
Surviving. Obviously, the fact that I'm talking is great. I can only remember those days in 2017, going to Wednesday match, Saturday match, Wednesday match, Saturday, and you had no voice after that. So I'm only tickled that at least have about 60 to 70% voice at this point. So good to see you, my good man.
And you
What a
look dry.
beautiful.
You look dry. You look dry.
Well, sitting in the fifth row has its advantages, and we had the wonderful fiance of Andrew. We had Claire with us in row five with us, so it was a beautiful, beautiful night in the Bailey.
It's a wonderful day for me because, well, A, I didn't get soaked, but B, I made my first Irish stew with Guinness. It was fantastic. It was Sheila approved, so I know I did a good job.
Amen.
That was my first. So that's the only hot news. When your biggest news of the week is you've made Irish stew, you know I'm living the life.
Amen, brother.
So
Amen.
let's get on with it. Like I said, it was a weird week.
Yeah.
Orange and Blue Nation, Gary Nation. I'm happy to hear you. Happy to see you. Subscribe if you haven't, because we'd love to have more of you around. But we go down to Orlando and sweat our butts off with the humidity and the heat, and that was a brutal game. We did everything but put the ball in the net more
Yeah.
than once. I felt really bad about that game ending in a tie because we had chances and they kind of slipped away. But the weather and it's right. This is where you go. These are the questions that we had like a month ago where we said, Leagues Cup, do we go for it or do we not? And we went for it and failed. So now we're in the unenviable position because of Leagues Cup, of World Cup. We went Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, and it was like
Yep.
2 months. Go take a break. Go if you're not playing in
Yeah.
the World Cup, just sit on the beach. And then it's okay. Well, now that we're back, we got to get this in before the end of the year. So it's Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. Right? Well, it was Leagues Cup. It was like Wednesday, Saturday. Then it was Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, Friday, and that's Wednesday, Saturday. It's like what day of the week are we not playing soccer this month? I don't
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so
Yeah.
you can tell that the guys are tired. You can just
Yep.
tell not just our guys, all guys are beginning to get kind of ground down because when you get used to a rhythm once a week, sometimes you play twice a week, but when you're playing twice a week for weeks on end, even if with a 2 month break, it's you don't have time to your body to rest. You don't have
Hmm.
enough time to train. So when you do train, you're not training very well. You can't do much with it. You just have to go through X's and O's.
Yep.
It's really hard. But this team responded with a very tough New York City. I certainly do not want to see them in the
Yeah.
playoffs because we do not match up with them very well.
Yep.
Uh, and what happened to us in Orlando, I think, is what happened to New York City and New York. Uh, Roman Celentano, I think the front office, I think they play this podcast in the clubhouse. They have to because the complaint I had about Roman Celentano after watching Loro in the Leagues Cup was he's not making decisions. He's not very decisive. Yeah, he's blocking shots. He was making some really good decisions and doing the Roman Celentano things.
Yes.
So that kept us in the game. The defense was okay. I think it's improving. Miazga is good. Robinson is good. I'm not going to say they're fantastic. Whenever we have maybe Giddy out there, Kyle Smith is a liability. Teenage Adebe is a liability, but he wasn't a liability before. So anyhow, those are my thoughts for the last two games. What are your thoughts of the last two games, the road game and the home game last night?
Well, yeah, obviously, the Orlando match was something that, you just have to get through these kind of matches, that are just, humidity out the, over everything, anything anybody can deal with. Um, and you saw, tired legs. You did. You just saw tired legs out there from just all of that Leagues Cup work that made these guys tired already, and just go down there and they would have liked to have been playing in the rain with as hot and as dreary as it was. I thought we played very well despite that, and had plenty of chances. But ultimately, um, a tie is okay to get on the road. It always is. So I thought we had the upper hand most of the match, and I really hoped we would have gotten through with the 3 points. But FCC saved those that 3 point amazement to the dying moments of last night's match. So I'm just I'm tickled for Roman because he proved in the first seconds of the second half that he was man of the match. Within 20 seconds, he took two point blank shots on him, defended both of them, and just played a whale of a ball game. And I'm just so happy for Roman that he stepped up. He really stepped up. Because we can say what we want about the defense, but Roman manned the sticks very well last night. And Evander's just going to do Evander things, and we just can't take that for granted because he showed why we all need to go 90 minutes plus. And it was just gorgeous to see that goal late last night in the dying seconds.
We do this. I think we lead the league in scoring goals after the 75th minute.
Yeah.
This is the second time San Diego was, I'm sure there's more, but San Diego was the last time I remember that we scored in extra time.
Hmm.
For that was to salvage a point after San Diego had just scored,
Yeah.
literally the last play of the game. This was nearly, I mean, it's so weird because pro referees are pro referees, right? I did not
Yeah.
like Tori Penso in the Orlando game. I think she's a terrible ref. A lot of other
For
people
sure.
think she's a terrible ref.
Yes.
Just indecisions. Right?
Hmm.
The 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 PK that gets reversed. Okay, we just talked about hell is real. We just
Yeah.
talked about hell is real and saying, all right, we know that's not a penalty, uh, but it's MLS. They're going to call it. All right. So this is like no different. How do you say he's simulating when his leg was kicked? And oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Buka has position. The other guy comes and sticks his leg in and steps on the front of his toe, and he
Yep.
falls. How did you? I've seen the replay. How did VAR not see the replay? Just say, yep, nope, that's fine. So I have no problems with the defense that played in Orlando. I thought they played
Yeah.
outstanding defense. It should
Very
have been a
good.
clean sheet. They should have won that
Yep.
match. Uh, we got robbed. That's how I felt. I felt like we got robbed. We had some chances. Uh, but then, as you say, like we used to say, Lucho does Lucho things, and I know
Yeah.
we can't compare them, but I am so happy to have Evander. I think Evander is at this point is showing me that he is better than Lucha was at his prime. Different players, different things. I get
Yep.
that. Um, Evander is just putting this team on his. Remember the beginning of the season? I'm going to go back. Remember the beginning of the season where he played like 20 minutes, then got hurt, and then came
Mhm.
back, but he wasn't 100%. And for like
Yes.
3 or 4 games, He just didn't look like the person. Like, what is he's
Correct.
pressing? There's something wrong. There's something more than we know. All of that is gone. Everything that we
Yep.
had in April and March and April is just out the window. This guy, I don't care about the head slapper down in Miami. This is
Mm,
the MVP of the league right
yeah.
here. He's doing more for this team. He is putting this team on his shoulders. Kevin
Yep.
Danke is he's looking at Europe. I know he's trying not to, but he's disappearing. He does. I can't say he's right if he's here to score goals, but he does a lot of work to hold up the play. He does a
Yes.
lot of work to draw defenders away so Evander can take the shot.
Yeah.
But he's also hitting the post like he did in Orlando. If he just puts the ball in like he's supposed to, we wouldn't have had that PK. I thought, okay, well, we're going to get it back with the PK. We're not PK, that kind of thing.
Right.
Um, it's Danke is, and he's human, right? He's excited about a European move
Hmm.
more money, bigger pastures, and bigger games. Understandable, but he's saying the right things, but on the pitch, he's not putting it together. What are your thoughts on Danke?
Yeah. Yeah. And you saw it on the first goal um, last night, where Evander gave him a wonderful, uh, beautiful, just little chip right to him. And, Denke did what he could with it. Ultimately, it came together. The defender and Denke came together. It squirts left, of course, right to the waiting left leg of Mbamidam, who had to really just sort of dive kick the ball because the defender was right on him. He got there a millisecond early to get that ball out and into the net. And let's just remember what we talked about early in the season when things were struggling. You didn't see a synergy there between Evander and Denke. All that talk is gone now because it is working. It's not adding up goals in Denke's column right this second, but believe me, this is what synergy looks like. It's give and take. It's working together, and ultimately, we're fifth right now. We're fifth, so it is working. Now, of course, we'd love to have all the points that Nashville has, but who doesn't? But I'm happy where we are. I'm happy where we are with that entity of it. If Denke's looking to Europe, that's fine. But it's happened with so many, and we don't even need to talk about the team up north there. They seem to be dropping out like crazy. I don't even know if they have any players left up there, but I wouldn't play up there either. But but yeah, Denke I think is going to be fine if he's here through the rest of the year. I see nothing but greater things happening than right now. I think the goals will come, and his contributions will continue, whether it's holding up play, getting the ball to somebody for a goal, or working with Evander. It's all gonna keep working, and I'm just happy with where we are right now.
I really do not want to lose Danke in light of Brenner getting injured. I
Yeah.
think the plan all along was not Neymar, but was to find Danke a European home where he would be happy, and to bring Brenner in because he wants to be here. There
Yeah.
is news of Columbus trying to throw money at Brenner. He's not going to take it unless he's forced.
Yeah.
If you put a $25 million check, he may have to
Oh
do that.
God.
But he's injured, so even if he gets it, he
Yeah.
he probably wouldn't play here. He probably just sign a 1 year contract
Yeah.
and be done with it. Because that's not where he wants to be. He wants to be here, and we want him
Mhm.
here. And
Yeah.
if Danke goes, Brenner, we'd love to have him back. I think he likes it here. And then that reminds me, incline tifo makers. It doesn't have to be a full tifo. It'd be a two pole. But why do we not do we have a two pole that says Mama Dem?
Yeah.
We need Mama Dem, Mama
Yep.
Dem,
Yep.
with Mama
I
Dem on it.
I I see what you did there.
There you go. Thank you. That's a Cincinnati thing for people who are
Yes, it is.
listening out of town.
Yeah. Thank you, Gary
Mama
Burbank. Rest
Dem.
in peace. Rest
Yes,
in peace, Gary Burbank.
there you go. Mama Dem. That's what we need. We need Mama Dem on a
Yeah.
flag with Mama Dem scoring a goal, doing his goal dance. I like his goal dance. I like the
Oh
way he
yeah.
goal
It
dances.
is beautiful. It's beautiful.
So it's been a up and down. You know, those extra 2 points would be nice. Charlotte tied Toronto, so that
Yeah.
gives us a 1 point lead in fifth. So if we break down the top five, because it's now time that we have to start paying attention to the schedule and paying attention to the table because it really doesn't matter until about 20 games.
Yeah.
Chicago is 3 points ahead of us, but they have a game in hand.
Yep.
So root for them to lose. If they do, then we're in striking distance. We really want to get in the top four so we can host.
Yes.
Um, and we're going to find out some really important answers, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, which we will talk about next week. But this
Okay.
Saturday we have. I just saw something that was shocking to me. So Seattle started off with like 7-3-1. They
Yeah.
had like the best record for the first 11 games in the league, and now they have the longest losing streak. So that team hasn't figured things out. Last time they came here, I think we won 2-1. We might have won
Mhm.
3-1, but
Can't
it
remember.
was never really in doubt.
Hmm.
So it's good. It's a lot better than when I saw them in 2019 when we scored the
Yeah.
first goal, and well, we know the rest. So we have a wounded Seattle coming in to help. You know, Nashville midweek just put the thump on the Pink Flamingos. I don't like
Oh
that
yeah.
team. I don't like that. I think more people have come around to us since the World Cup, how Messi played in the World Cup and his whole team, because that same team in Argentina, he's accumulated. It's not just Argentina. That's how he plays. That's how Inter Miami plays. Is how Argentina plays.
Yeah.
That was in football, if you score a touchdown, you don't stand over somebody, or if you tackle the quarterback, you
Hmm.
don't stand over them. That's a 15-yard penalty in American football. When you stand over somebody, you're going to get swung at. That's just you can't do that.
Yep.
And that's part of these pro referees who I think are terrible. I don't know what we can do. I don't know if we can get they're better leagues. We've got a new commissioner coming in. He's talking about two-leg 20-team playoffs.
Yeah.
Just stop. Just stop. Let's just go with single elimination like we used to have and stop this three-game nonsense in the first
Hmm.
round and then single elimination all the way through. Stop
Right.
the money grab and go buy yourself some refs and make this
Yeah.
league the third best league in the world, or the fourth, or whatever you can do. Improve your product, improve your reputation. The players deserve it because the players here are no longer not worthy. A
Hmm.
lot of our players are going to the Premier League and second division. So that whole discussion about Premier League is so much better. Is nonsense.
Yeah.
Is absolute nonsense. Are they
Yeah.
better? Yes, they are better. Do they get paid? They have players who get paid football money. Of course, they are better. But that doesn't mean that we couldn't be. They come and pick us up, right? That's just where we are. But we can have better refs. And if we have
Yeah.
better refs, then we can have some better players who have a better time and compete with other leagues around the world and not do 20 teams. That's what they were saying. 20 team, two-legged, double elimination. Uh, what are you thinking for playoffs? That's just nonsense. Then why are we
Hmm.
playing this? Then why are we playing 34 games? I
Right.
mean, already we're not playing every other team in the league because we
Exactly.
have too many teams. So don't make it even worse. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Um, what did you
uh,
think of the second half of play? Besides, we talked about Roman Celentano. Was it the defense? Was it a lack of communication? What was your thoughts on the second half of last night's game?
well, you didn't see a lot. You saw just a lot of just basic back and forth, a little missed pass here, final third, you just didn't see very much. Now, Roman Celentano will say, I saw enough. So Roman did his work, but you just, otherwise, it was just very you know, I won't say boring because, about 20 minutes of that second half, you almost couldn't see the other end of the field. It was raining that hard. So it's, obviously it wasn't raining because we have the cover over the stands and stuff. But it's just it's hard to really gain a footing there, and I just think it just took finally everybody just being a bit tired at 90 minutes, and that allowed Evander to do Evander things. So you just didn't see anybody really going all out. You just saw a lot of, we're just trying to get through this half, without slipping and possibly injuring yourself because it rained hard. It rained hard for a good bit, and then it would just kind of off and on raining the rest of the match. I even, walking out, after going back to the car, it was still raining a bit. So it was just an interesting evening, but I'm happy for the Bailey that didn't stop chanting. I'm happy that it was just an exciting environment that didn't quit until that final whistle.
The fun part is, and I forgot to mention that, Rain, because it was evident in the broadcast because if you, in case anybody doesn't know, the supporter sections on any home game, not just us, any home supporter section gets mic'd
Yeah,
because they want that home crowd to kind of filter in to fill in. Some you can barely notice if they're not widely attended or they have small sections, but large supporter sections like we do, it comes in through. But all you heard was pop, 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 pop,
yeah,
pop, 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 pop. It's like, oh, it's raining, and they actually had to say in the broadcast, "That's the mics from the Bailey. It's
yeah,
raining out there." It's you can really hear it. It's like because you're like, what is that noise? What is that drippy noise? It wasn't quite drippy, but it was just
yeah.
making this poppy noise.
Right.
Yeah, it was hard, and I think Cincinnati. One of the things that they do offensively and just throughout the game is that when they get the ball, they want to move it side to side, but they also want to wear out the other team. They
Hmm.
make a lot of passes now, things that they didn't do before. Sometimes they slow things down and just pass things around, particularly with a pressing team like New York City. It seemed like for 75 minutes, particularly in the second half, uh, they were more interested in keeping the ball and quite frankly looked like they were happy with a tie.
Yeah.
Uh, and kicking the ball around and moving it from side to side and some people would like make a run but not and they would advance it to the final third. They have been doing that very consistently on pretty much everybody. Sometimes the decision making is bad or sometimes the defense is good or a combination of the two, but after the 75th minute during the heavy rain, particularly after New York had a couple of opportunities that got snuffed out. Instead of trying, and it seemed like for the first 75 minutes, New York had like 13 players on the pitch because
Yeah.
every time they passed, there's two men on the ball, and you pass it to somebody else, and there's two men on the ball, and they pass it somewhere else, and there's two men on the ball. They had some difficulty breaking that press. There's certainly breaking lines.
Yeah.
Finally, the center backs just took the ball and just drove
Hmm.
up the pitch, and that threw New York City off because they were trying to play the press and nobody was pressing that man who just got the ball. Started breaking lines. Then they
Yeah.
had to kind of converge on the man on the ball. Now things were opening up, and that's kind of what happened. The last 15 minutes, they suddenly like the last switch, even the last 3 or 4 minutes. It's like as soon as they hit 90 minutes, they're like, okay, let's push this a little bit harder one last
Yeah.
time. And
Yeah.
and those passing, right? Everybody knows who to give the ball to. Buka made a great back heel. So I mean, it wasn't just a great shot, but it was a pass. I'm not sure who was over there. I think it was Buka Buka, but somebody, I think it was Moment, it wasn't Momodou, but somebody on the winger got it to Buka, who backheeled it to to Evander, and then that, you just can't give even that 2 feet of space to Evander. He
Yeah.
just went. He knew that they were overplaying him because he thought he was going to pass it like a through ball
Yeah.
to for across to cross the net. He just turned and shot.
Yes.
The keeper didn't have a chance. Nobody had a
No.
chance. Nobody, everybody was playing over that way. It's like amazing that you gave him that kind of space. But it's the 90th minute. It's raining. I guarantee you the defenders were thinking about not slipping because if you go too far, if you go too hard one way and you get deked, you are toast. You cannot recover in a
Yeah.
slippy, wet mess.
Yeah.
So that was super cool. Before we get to Seattle, one shout out that I don't think I've heard anybody say, and tell me if I'm wrong, because I on TV the pitch looked really really good. The keeper areas were a little muddy, but it's
Hmm.
wet. I mean, we've played 3 league games and 2 home
Yeah.
games. We had one road game in Orlando. They haven't. This grass has not had a lot of time to rest after the 2 months it did
Exactly.
have the rest. To get this, every game that we played has in the last 4 or 5 games has had some rain.
Hmm.
And that if you've watched football matches, particularly back in the day, where halfway through the season they don't have any grass, and then it rains.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
you whatever grass remains is gone. So I
Hmm.
am shocked. So I'm gonna give a big shout out to the grounds crew who
Yeah.
doesn't get a lot of credit because but if that pitch is terrible, right? We've been on terrible pitches. People have gotten injured on terrible pitches.
Yes.
This was that pitch looking really good.
Um, for sure. I mean, obviously, I'm not, right close to the field, but from what I could tell, things were, looking pristine. And obviously, the the worry I have is the upcoming high school football game that's going to be played at TQL. And I cringe because I don't want to see that field. I wouldn't want to be the grounds uh, crew after that because I don't know if they're looking to scrap the field and go with a new one. I don't know, but that I'm just worried from that perspective. All those high schoolers on there, digging in the trenches. Uh, hopefully they're not making too bad of trenches in TQL
Yeah,
pitch.
you don't want the
So,
middle of that pitch to be a mud hole. Well,
yeah,
maybe they're going to do the inverse of what they do at the World Cup. Maybe they're going to keep the grass and they're going to roll out artificial turf over the grass so they
no,
can't rip up the grass so the high
no.
schoolers can play on their
Oh,
just a
oh
thought. I
my
don't know what they're doing.
I don't know
I mean,
either.
we just replaced it. It was like a couple years ago, so they had a. It was
Oh,
fun, and this is what I like. So what's so nice about this team is that they knew they were going to replace the turf. They had a concert, the Who
yeah,
concert.
yep,
So before the Who concert came in, and they knew they were going to rip the turf up and put something else in, they uh, they let the fans go out on the pitch and run around. I got to kick a
yep,
PK. It was fun.
yeah.
So if they were going to replace it, I'm hoping that they would do another day where people can go and actually
Yeah,
get on the pitch because the grass, to me, before they ripped it up, was to me spectacular. It was really
yeah,
nice. It was really cut low. It was really thick. It felt really
yep,
good.
yep,
Because I was down there touching it, running on it, and all kinds of fun stuff.
exactly.
So kudos to the grounds crew to because those 3 leagues cup and a lot of flopping from the Liga
Yes.
MX teams and
Oh,
a lot of flopping
oh,
from this pigeon team that I don't like either.
yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I don't think we can catch Nashville. They're at 43. Uh, I
They're
think Inter
flying.
Miami's is in some kind of free fall. I don't know if Messi knows what he wants to do. He just seems angry all the time. Two
No,
draws now.
that's Suarez.
He's
So,
hungry for some ear, I think.
you know,
He, hmm, he's fighting off more than he can chew, I guess.
yes.
But so I think third place is doable. We have 1 game with New England here. which is great. We have some great teams coming in home to make this. And in Nashville, we have two
Hmm.
six-point matches with them. I don't think we're going to get the supporters shield. And somebody said we were like in 13th when now we're in 11th. We're not in
Yeah,
11th. We're in fifth in our division. No,
yeah,
I don't care what happens in the West until MLS Cup and we're in it. There's really nothing that we as an Eastern fan could really care about. I mean,
right.
we're playing a Western Conference team. Does anybody other than it is Seattle and it was our first game? Do you go, oh my goodness, this is this? I circled this on the schedule. I can't wait for this game.
Yeah,
Unless you're a former Sounders fan and you've moved here, no, no, nobody cares. It's just another team from the Western Division. We're happy that it's here and not in Seattle. Let's get the 3 points. So, what do you think what is the score line going to look like this Saturday? It's tired. I don't know what they're going to do for rotations. We did our rotations were weird, but go ahead. What do you think is going to happen in Seattle?
well, honestly, looking at Seattle, you just can't understand how a team that has rolled on and Ferreira on your team can be in such a free fall. Do you know when their last win was in MLS? It was over 3 months ago.
Wow.
Over back in May, and it just it's you just see loss after loss after loss. Their only win was versus Carataro in League's Cup. So I have no idea. I mean, in this team, just, just let's remember this: they only have one less win than we do. So we're not. I mean, and we're going to their home. Um,
No, they're coming here.
oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Good morning. You know,
I know it.
good.
The water. It sucks my brain.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I was talking last night about the first FCC match. You were there
Yep.
up in Seattle, so I mean that's been on my mind, and I talked about it last night with a couple. There we had a guy from Seattle in the Bailey in front of us. He was just visiting, got a ticket, came in, had a blast. So,
Oh,
and
good.
he just couldn't believe what we had here, and it was just nice. But let me get back to the match. We have to continue this losing streak for them. There's no question about it. We're going up there for one thing, 3 points, and to bring that home. We don't want them to have any kind of thinking that they're going to do anything different than they've done, since May. So let's just continue that for them and bring home a 2-1 win.
I think that's great. Honestly, if you what you just said is that they have one less win than we do.
We
They
have 8,
started
they have
off with
7.
7 wins. They
I
started off
know.
with seven.
I
Look how
know.
poorly we played, and how we
How,
had to struggle to get to 5-5-5. And
yes.
and now we have one more win than they do. So
Yes.
obviously they're on a downward trajectory. We're on a somewhat upward. We would love it to be a linear 3 points every single time.
Yeah.
Uh, I given that the two results happened as they were, which is weird as they were, I thought we got robbed. We should have gotten 3 points in Orlando. I
Yeah. Oh,
think we
yeah.
should have probably have lost last night, given how they were playing and we were playing. But that's
Hmm.
soccer. That's why we love this game because
Yeah.
we hit the post twice,
Yes.
get a tie, and fortunate to do so.
Hmm.
But we owned that game. We did not own last night's game, and we
Nope.
took 3 points home with us, and that's just how it goes, right? So that's I think the boys are digging tough. I know it's going to be tough for everybody. They're playing a
Hmm.
team. Sometimes this team likes to play down to its level as well as up
Yeah.
to its level. But
Yep.
I feel that since it's at home, uh, I think a team like that's in this kind of funk, that our opponent, not us, if you score first and we are making it a habit more often than not to scoring first, if we score first, they're going to put their heads down. That's just how
Yeah.
it is because they're away from home. They don't have any pick me up, particularly if it's in the first 20 minutes. I'm going to go 3-1.
Okay.
I think we could put this together. Um, there is a chance of rain on Saturday. So,
Yeah. I
uh,
know.
so, buckle up, orange and blue fans. Buckle up. So I'm going to say 3-1. I think we have some offensive firepower, and we need to get the 3 points rolling. I think it's now beginning to become crunch time with 14 games to go. We've got some very big games. We've got Nashville coming up out on the road. We've got Charlotte at home. We've got Miami on the road coming up.
Yep.
We have Hell is Real at home coming up. So it looks like after this Saturday, it kind of calms down a little bit as far as the Wednesday Saturday's game. So we have a whole week to prepare for Nashville next week, but we got 3-1.
Yep.
So any last thoughts before we head out of here?
Well, I touched on we had a guest or a visitor in the Bailey last night, and just want to shout out. His name is Juan, and I got to talk to him after the match. Again, he works for a technology company in Seattle, and just was amazed by what he saw here. I think he liked the best thing he liked about it was the intimacy of TQL. Everything is close. Everything is, I could sit here and say I couldn't see the other end of the field, but it was raining that hard. But there's not a bad seat in TQL, so he just enjoyed. The dude was professional. He had an orange and blue flag and just continued to wave it. My man just didn't stop. I said, "You're a pro, my man." I saw a few other flags on the other end completely, and he had his flag going. And what a treat to meet him and. Just talk soccer with him. He would just ask about the climate in Cincy and World Cup and all kinds of other things. And it was just great to, have that visitor. And he's leaving at 6:30 on Saturday, so he won't be at the match. And he was like, "Oh no, I didn't even know they're playing here on Saturday." And I said, "Well, if you can delay it any at all, come and see us. You might not be the best idea to be in the Bailey if you're a Seattle fan, but
no green in the Bailey. That's all I'm going to say is no green in the Bailey."
I say you're invited down to where we are. So I said, bring it if you can.
And that's awesome. So Juan, welcome. Obviously, we love orange and blue, but if you want to keep your green, that's fine. But if you're looking to move to our fair town, we'd love to have you. And
Amen.
And you already have a podcast, so there you go. We got you.
Yep.
We got you covered.
Exactly.
Well, that's about all the time that we have here for FCC Supporter Square. Don't forget to like and subscribe on Spotify or YouTube. We're still trying to figure out the Apple podcast. Apple just has so many rules and regulations and hoops and stuff. We're trying to figure it out. Eventually, we'll get that done. I don't know when, but we will get that done. But we will see you next time here on FCC Supporter Square. Thank you for watching FCC Supporter Square. Please like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. The intro song was Disappointed by the Stone Bunnies. The outro song was Awesome Sauce, also by the Stone Bunnies. If you'd like to be on the show or contact us, it is at fcc.supp.square@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.